plans smashed out. So happy with how this place is looking. I can't wait to show you it once it's all transformed. But the next step is one of my most favorite parts of a renovation. I will not go into any renovation unless I can make money, if that is my aim from it. And I need to be able to do that, I need to know all of my costs. So I do it in a couple of steps. I find so many people are unbelievably daunted by the concept of costing up their renovation. So I do it in a couple of ways. First, I go room by room, literally bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living, outdoor, garden, steps, area by area, space by space, and I price up each and every material that you're going to need in there. So everything from the PowerPoints to the amount of paint, to the curtains, the window furnishings, the carpets, the toilets, the robe hooks, you name it. I price every single element up for each and every room. And then once all of that is inside my calculation, I then go back and I look at the trades I'm going to need to use in every room. So for my bathroom, for example, which I'm working on at the moment, I'm going to need a tiler, I'm going to need a glazier, I'm going to need a chippy to help me frame up a dropped ceiling and to put on a new door. So I actually go and enter each of those into the app. I actually have to run in a minute because I have an appointment with my tiler to get an estimate for it. Once I get my estimates, all my fixed quotes, depending on how I'm working with my trades, I then go back in and enter that exact amount into my budget. So not one element is missing from my budget. I have all my materials, I have all of my trades, and then I know exactly where I stand moving forward. But for those of you who haven't renovated much, whether you're renovating for wealth, renovating for profit, or whether you are just renovating because you want to create an amazing home for yourself or your tenants to live in, so important that you renovate with a buffer. So I recommend that if you're starting out, renovate with a 15% buffer. So that's 15% of your total project cost should be a contingency. So make sure that you also enter that in as a line item inside your app for your budget. Got to run though, got an appointment with that tiler to get that estimate locked down. Happy pricing! Surprise! That's exactly what I have had on site this week. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I'm back from tour and I thought I'd get into it just for a couple of days. And I talked to you last time about the importance of buffers. Oh my gosh. I have found everything in this property. I mean, I have found bee nests or beehives inside the walls. I've found snake skins. I've found full intact skeletons of possums. I've found asbestos hidden and stashed in places you just wouldn't believe. I mean, out of control. I found 5 layers of lino and newspaper on the kitchen floor. So cool, some amazing reading there. It's amazing what you can read on a newspaper that's like 50 years old. It's actually quite cool. But thank gosh I had a buffer in place. Even just at this time, even at demo stage, things are already taking just that little bit longer as the house reveals a pile of surprises for us. But this takes me actually to something that's really close to my heart, and that is PPE, so personal protective equipment. A lot of people think if they don't think their house has asbestos in it that they don't need to wear PPE. I am absolutely staunch on the importance of wearing PPE. So for me, I won't go into a house looking at demo without a mask, without goggles, without earplugs if I'm using heavy machinery, and without gloves and naturally the right footwear. It is just not worth it. Asbestos or no asbestos, you need to protect yourself. Like, you can't tell me that when I'm pulling off a wall of a house that's maybe 30 years old, even if it's not asbestos, that anything inside that wall is good for my eyes or good for my lungs or good for my skin or good for anything. So guys, PP up, because if you have as many surprises in any of your properties as I've had from this one in the last couple of days, you need to keep yourself covered. Can't wait. Do you know what I'm really stoked about? I'm stoked that I've been journaling this. My friends and family have absolutely loved as I've shared out the snake skins and the possum skeletons and all the other stuff I've found. Liquid gold. And I reckon in a year I'll pull my app back out and look back at this property and have a giggle about this moment. out your renovation from a timeline perspective is a true skill. So you need to make sure that your timelines are as tight as they can be to get you from one end of the renovation to the other and the quickest possible time frame, because then you have least holding costs if you're not occupying the home. But at the same time, you need to squash into your timelines a buffer between each of the segments. So for example, if you know that your bathroom is going to be sheeted by Tuesday and you want your waterproofer in on Wednesday, it might be worth having half a day or 1 day buffer on Thursday before you arrange to bring the tiler in. Similarly, once the tiler has finished off, let's say he finishes off on a Friday, it would be great to buffer in just a small amount of time before you get the plumber to come in and fit back off. And that is because stuff happens, guys. Products are sometimes late, sometimes trades run late on other jobs, they get caught up. When it comes to plumbers and electrical and gas fitters, I often find they might get called out to an emergency, and all of that is okay. You just need to plan for it. So this is exactly how I plan my timelines. Absolutely everything I do in regard to my reno is inside my app. So inside there is not only when I've got to meet trades to quote, it's when I need to order materials, when materials are arriving, when installations are starting, when installations are due to finish. And most importantly, I start with the end in mind. So I work out exactly when I want that project to be finished, and then I back calculate all the way to now. So what needs to happen each and every day to get me to that specific end point. So rather than calculating forward, I actually have my final date. I want everything finished and I reverse engineer it. Now, obviously there are a couple of big key things that I don't like to move around too much. So one of them is when my kitchen's arriving and when it needs to be installed. My other one is actually my floors. They're one of the biggest surface areas that you're going to be doing in your house. So if you're restoring old beautiful floorboards, you will actually need the inside of that site closed if it's entirely floorboards during that time. So I have that and the kitchen install as a really big pivotal piece. And I allow everything else to be massaged around it. But to be able to stay on top of it, I totally need it in my phone, because every single day, I'll say it again, every single day, every morning and every afternoon during your renovation, you need to be tweaking and seeing how you can massage it. If one trade might be running late or a product didn't come in on time, what can you swap around? What can you massage? What can you manipulate to make sure you end up with that end date that you always intended on?
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you're following me on Instagram to see my latest design and reno inspiration. You can find me at Naomi Findlay Official or click the link in my description. See you soon.